For centuries, the Galactic Concord had known only one enemy formidable enough to challenge its reign time itself. With the last rebellion crushed on the moons of Vir-Resh and the Carthan uprising dissolved into dust, peace seemed absolute. The High Admiral of the Concord, Viralan the Wise, stood aboard the bridge of the flagship Celestial Spear, gazing out at the shimmering void of space with quiet satisfaction. Today, a new species had been officially conquered. The planet designated Sol 3, known locally as Earth, had sent its final transmission. It was, as expected, a surrender. "Let it be known," Viralan declared, his voice echoing through the ornate halls of the command deck, "that humanity has accepted its place in the great design." Another world, another triumph. The gathered officers, Dromarians with jewel-encrusted scales, Plentari with glistening carapaces, and sleek-robed Ilvani, cheered in their own alien tongues. The data from Earth's final communique flickered across the main holodisplay. "This is Earth Command. We acknowledge receipt of the ultimatum. Terms accepted." Yet the transmission was odd. No usual ceremonial words, no desperate pleas, just acknowledgement. Cold, calculated. Viralan dismissed the unease. Half a cycle later, the 7th Armada was deployed to Earth's orbit to begin integration procedures, a euphemism for stripping resources, disarming any remaining forces, and uploading indoctrination protocols. A fleet of over 400 ships, armed with quantum lances and gravity wells, descended upon the Sol system like gods from the void. That was when the stars themselves screamed. The first Dreadnought emerged from Saturn's shadow. It didn't match any known configuration. Over 7 kilometers long, matte black and bristling with weapon arrays, it moved like a predator through water. Its hull bore no identification, only the ancient Terran sigil, a stylized eagle, wings outstretched, clutching lightning in its talons. Unidentified vessel, hailed Commander Threx of the cruiser Valiant Memory. "Identify yourself and state your allegiance." There was a pause. Then a voice replied, calm, "Human, this is UNS Behemoth. Earth's terms were misunderstood. We did not surrender. We were preparing." Before Threx could respond, the Behemoth opened fire. The destruction was surgical. Entire wings of the 7th Armada were annihilated before alarms even sounded. Concord shielding tech, thought to be impenetrable, folded under the sheer kinetic force of rail slugs traveling at 20 kilometers per second. Energy weapons, previously considered inefficient, now pulsed with fusion-fed ferocity, cleaving through ships like a scalpel through flesh. Human AI-controlled fighters, sleek and mindlessly precise, swarmed around Concord vessels, targeting their weak spots with algorithmic ruthlessness. The Concord had always believed in overwhelming strength. They had never prepared for cleverness. Within an hour, a third of the fleet was gone. Within 3, half. And then, as if summoned by some cosmic wrath, more Terran dreadnoughts arrived: Titan, Leviathan, Fenrir, Nagelfar. The void turned red. Back on the Celestial Spear, Viralan watched in disbelief as reports streamed in. "This is impossible," he muttered. "We scouted them. They had primitive orbital platforms. No interstellar capability." "They lied," whispered Strategos Elvra, her 6 eyes wide with terror. "They feigned weakness. They baited us." Viralan clenched his fists. No species could hide this kind of military potential. "Unless," Elvra added, "they knew the only way to survive was to let us think they were weak." Aboard the Behemoth, Admiral Elaine Varas stood at the war table, surrounded by her commanders, each one a veteran of Earth's secret shadow wars. The room was quiet, save for the hum of engines and the distant thunder of battle. "They bought the act," said Commander Ishawan Malik, chuckling darkly. "Hook, line, and plasma net." Elaine nodded. They thought they'd won before they fired a shot. That was their mistake. She turned to the communication terminal. Patch me through to their flagship. Seconds later, Viralan's pale, shocked face appeared on the screen. Hi, Admiral, Elaine said with grim calm. You violated our orbit, invaded our system, threatened our species, and you celebrated before the war had even begun. Viralan's mandibles clicked in defiance. You can't possibly defeat the Concorde. You're alone. Elaine leaned forward. We're human. We've always been alone. And we've always survived. She cut the transmission. In the aftermath, only fragments of the Seven the Armada remained. Those that escaped carried tales of Earth's fury of dreadnoughts that hunted in packs, of soldiers who fought like demons, and of a planet that turned submission into strategy. The Galactic Concorde's illusion of invincibility was shattered. Across the stars, other civilizations, once quiet under Concorde rule, listened closely. If Earth could stand, maybe they could too. And in the void, where the Seven the Armada once ruled, Earth's dreadnoughts now drifted silently, watching, waiting, because humanity had never surrendered. They had evolved.